Stuck inside of this quarantine, now all I do is play FIFA. Stuck inside of this quarantine, now all I do is play FIFA. Stuck inside of this quarantine, now all I do is play FIFA. Stuck inside of this quarantine, I'm stuck. Getting down on my knees and I'm praying. I'm saying, please, EA, please bless me, it's so blatant. I'm cursed. Why? Pack Prime Crespo and I was shaking. For chance rewards got my heart breaking. Why? What's going on, YouTube? It is your boy 1 Star a week for the you are now watching another episode of the Broke Boy Road to Glory. And as you guys know, it is the trenches. It is Saturday gameplay I'm about to show you guys live on your screen. But first and foremost, I have an announcement to make. Let me show you guys the transfer list. We have turned into foot traders. We are rich. We have made 350K in profit by buying and selling 2 players. And they were players that we just reviewed, or players that I'm going to review today. Obviously, Zanetti is on the thumbnail today. But first, I'm going to talk about Sancho. I bought him for 1.34 because he looked like a good price. I bought him in the second hour of lightning rounds. And I sold him overnight for 1.585. That's like 180K profit. But I wasn't done. I bought Zanetti with the money I made from Sancho in order to try him out for this review. Also because, I mean, this card looks sick. I bought him for 1.17. I sold him for 1.43, and we have doubled the profit. We have made 360K between these 2 cards over the weekend. And my suggestion to you guys, I've noticed, is that when the promo team first comes out, during the first hour or 2, there are certain cards. It's normally the cards in high demand. This week it was Sancho. It was a card like Odegaard, where they'll hit a price and you'll notice that it's too low to be true. Like this Sancho card, when it was at 1.34, I realized it was too low to be true. So I invested in him. I bought him. I reviewed him for you guys. And then overnight, the prices just skyrocket because there's less demand, or not less demand, less supply. So I ended up throwing Sancho on the market at that time, and lo and behold, we have made a massive profit. But yeah, let me show you guys the team I was rocking with yesterday in the weekend league, because as you guys know, it is Sunday today. But it looked like this, and Zanetti was right here. The custom tactics are right before your eyes right here. 4-3-1-2. We're still rocking with it. We're still testing it out in the weekend league, and Zanetti was playing this position right here, left CM. His instructions were stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of the box for cross and cover center. At halftime, I would move him over here at CDM, where he would drop between defenders. And really what I wanted to do was test the full upgrade of this card, because let's look at this card real quick. He's gotten a crazy upgrade. Let me just search for him. Zanetti. Oh, of course, I gotta search concept. I'm sorry. I don't have him anymore. We have used them to make profit, but it's okay. Let's look at the card. He's 5'10". He has high work rates. He's right-footed with a 2-star, 4-star combination. And I played 10 games with him yesterday, all of them in the weekend league, and he didn't really get that many goal contributions, but I have a lot of things to say about this card. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying the content, if you want more content like this, do me a big favor and hit the like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, as always, do me a solid and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all you guys at home for watching this video. So we look at the Zanetti card. There are a few shocking things about it. I mean, to me, the biggest thing is the plus 20 he's gotten on shooting. His best version previous to this had like 60-something shooting. This card now has 85 shooting, and therefore, it's looking like a premier card at the CM position. But let's look at his stats all around. The pace is definitely there. Shooting-wise, he now has enough to keep the opposition honest. If he overlaps, he finds himself in the box, don't be scared to pass it to him. He should be able to shoot. Passing wise, of course, he's going to be really nice. One thing I've noticed is that they've really upgraded his curve. I believe the curve on his other versions are pretty low, like in the 60s. This one has 85 curve. We're going to see if that makes any noticeable difference to him in game. Dribbling wise, he looks very nice as well. What I did end up throwing on him was the engine chem style. I thought he needed some more pure dribbling stats, because the 81 on the dribbling stat, the 80 on the agility stat at 5'10", just didn't really look that appealing to me, so that's why I threw on him. Defending and physical wise, he looks absolutely insane. He has 51 jumping, of course, which is not that great, but everything else looks absolutely perfect. So without further ado, I'm gonna jump into the gameplay. I'm gonna let you guys know how my weekend league has been going, and I'm gonna let you guys know is this Zanetti worth it at the CM position? Let's go. Yeah, so according to Footbin, this Zanetti card is going to range from 1.1 to 1.3 million on the PS4 market. Is he worth it? I would say you have to play him at CDM. As a CM, I did not like him that much, but as a CDM, I think he's actually one of the better ones in that price range. We're going to break it down, starting with the pace. He has 87 pace, and he felt exactly like the stats indicated, all right? He doesn't have that top-end sprint speed like an Mbappe does, but at the same time, in the midfield, he covered a lot of ground with his high work rates. He was able to really cover a lot of ground with that pace. At the fullback position, I do think he's very quick, but you should throw a shadow cam style on him. Overall, this guy's pace is an 8.5 out of 10. Next, we're going to talk about shooting, and I did get to test it a few times. What I did notice is that his finishing was actually pretty solid on both feet. If you get it from a good angle, best believe it's going to hit the back of the net. His long shots are very decent as well. Unfortunately, this year, if long shots are not that OP, but if you do get a good finesse angle with him on that left foot, or actually, no, that right foot, he is going to hit the back of the net as well. Overall, this guy's shooting is an 8 out of 10. He definitely got a big upgrade in this regard. You definitely notice it over his other versions, and it's actually a welcome change to push him up the pitch. Next, we'll talk about his passing, and in my opinion, this is one of the best aspects of this card, aside, of course, from the defending. This guy, as a playmaker from deep, was very, very nice. His 85 vision, 95 short passing, and 85 curve really helped him in tight areas, inside and around the box. And his 89 long passing helped him really become that deep line playmaker, and he could play that position for many roles. He could play from CM, CDM, even if you want to play him as a left back or a right back. This guy's long passing will definitely be noticeable. I mean, his through balls were insane, perfectly weighted. His driven passes the same, and overall, this guy's passing is a 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed the passing on this card, and with passing getting worse and worse with each passing patch, I think that's really a good thing. Next, we'll talk about his dribbling, and unfortunately, this is the one part of the card that did leave me wanting a bit more, and we're going to talk about it. First, we're going to talk about his agility and balance. He has 80 agility, 87 balance. I did boost that with the engine chem style on 10 chem, which theoretically should have brought both stats into the 90s, and unfortunately, I did think he felt a bit stiff at times, and I wouldn't say he's clunky. Clunky is not the right word for it, but he wasn't really smooth either. I did expect more as a fullback going into the CM position as far as dribbling goes. And the gameplay was extremely delayed yesterday for some reason. I mean, it is Saturday Weekend League gameplay. So I would say his responsiveness on the ball was very average. His reactions, his composure is very nice. So if he does get pressured, he's not going to be somebody that wilts under pressure. What I will say though is that I did notice that 81 dribbling, not being a top tier stat. Like I said, he doesn't have the skill moves that 2-star skill moves. So of course you can't do the heel to heels. You can't do certain skill moves already. And when it came to actually controlling the ball in tight areas, he felt very average. He felt like a midfielder. He didn't really feel like a fullback that would push up the pitch. Overall, this guy's dribbling is a 7.5 out of 10. Next, we'll talk about his defending and physical, and obviously this is the best thing about this card. He did not disappoint. I mean, this guy defensively was absolutely a rock. He has 93 interceptions, and what I noticed is that cards like this, especially him, just seem to have a magnet. Whenever they're around the ball, they win every single loose ball. His tackle was very clean, very aggressive, but also like he had some strength to him. He's 5'10", he has 78 strength. That along with his 88 aggression really helped him going into a challenge. And 93 stamina meant that he lasted all game. Overall, this guy's defending and physical contributions are a 9.5 out of 10. Alright guys, so what's the final verdict on this card? I think as a pure CDM, this guy's an absolute beast with his pace, with his defending, with his physical, even with his like really nice passing and shooting abilities for a card in that position. What I will say though is if you plan to play him CM, you might be disappointed in delayed gameplay because he felt very average on the ball. That was the most disappointing part about this card. Overall though, as a midfielder, I have to give him a 9 out of 10. He's very reliable defensively. He's very much a rock in defense, and he's always in the right place at the right time when you're getting countered. I really enjoy that. I do suggest this card at the low 1 million coin mark if you could get him on 10 cam, and I really enjoyed them. Alright guys, you might be wondering how the weekend league is going because last episode we left off at 8-2. We were flying high. Did the hot streak continue? And unfortunately, not. We took some losses. Some of the gameplay that I experienced yesterday, not all of it, I'm not gonna lie, not all of it, but at least the last 5 to 6 games were horrible, were shocking. There were certain games where I just did not know what was happening. I was scoring stupid goals. My opponent was scoring stupid goals. I mean, it was an absolute mess. But we did somewhat recover. We finished at 14-7. And when I noticed, because I was 13-3 at one point, then I lost 4 straight games. What I noticed is that when the ELO gets really high on a Saturday in the North America region, it takes forever to find you an opponent, and half the time the gameplay is really delayed. So I'm not sure if the gameplay was delayed because our ELO got too high. I don't know if that's just FIFA being FIFA, but the gameplay was bad. I got very frustrated, and we took some losses, but we ended off on the win. We ended up at 14-7. Hopefully today I could finish gold 1. We're definitely gonna push for it. We're definitely gonna be trying a new card out with these coins. Let me know in the comment section down below how your weekend league is went. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna call it the episode here. I'm gonna see you in the next one. But until then.